Welcome back. Residents in the ancient town of Aguleri in Anambra East local government area of Anambra State are crying out over what they call the non-existence of infrastructure. Aguleri, notable for fishing and farming, has never had a road network in its over 100 years of existence. That's a situation residents say is hampering their economic opportunities. Our community report tonight looks at the situation and the plight of the people begging for a connection to the world.
Etisola, now you're talking.
This statue of Reverend Father Cyprian Iwene Tansi is a reminder of the rich history of Aguleri, a community in Anambra East local government area. With an estimated population of about 300,000 people, Aguleri is widely regarded as a relatively peaceful community. Located at the banks of Omabala River, it is also popularly known for fishing and farming, earning the title of being one of the food baskets of the state. But there is an issue that has been disturbing the peace of mind of the residents, which they say is threatening their livelihood. This is the absence of a road network, which has caused them to cry out for urgent help from the authorities.
It's not that, it's not even motorable. There is a lot of, I would say, a kind of waterlogged spots in every corner, nooks and crannies of the road. So
when we were young, we used to farm down there. So those days, this road is a very small road, you understand? You can barely walk on the road.
On a visit to the community, the state governor, Willie Obiano, gives an assurance of prompt action.
This road is very important in the sense that it will connect over 7 communities in this area and traverses fishing and farming villages around here. And will shorten the distance of going to the Orient. Before now, they go through Enugu because there's no proper road. After this road, in less than 15-20 minutes, they will be at their operating site. That's the beauty of what we are trying to do here.
If the words of those in possession is to be taken seriously, then the tears of the community will soon be wiped away. For the Community Report, Oralu Ashonibare, Channels Television News.
Etisola, now you're talking.
Back here in Lagos, 59 people have emerged winners of the ongoing Lagos State's home ownership mortgage scheme for the month of September. Governor Babatunde Fashola, who was present at the 7th draw, assured residents of his administration's commitments to providing more homes that will help in tackling the housing deficit in the state. He also used the opportunity to inspect ongoing projects in the Igomu area.
The draw that is fast becoming popular is in its 7th season, and as residents and government officials gather for the draw, then comes this moment of surprise when some of the attendees emerged as new home owners, thanks to the Lagos State mortgage scheme.
Shogoro Scheme 1, Shogoro Scheme 2.
As we speak today, we are building at 23 different sites in the state.
If you have been evicted by a landlord before, if you have slept on the streets before, you will understand what that means. Our state is making progress. If people in that area of Lagos can depend and rely on their government to keep its word, that is the kind of government that we have run here.
As usual, prospective home winners were picked from a random ballot after meeting the basic requirements that qualified them.
It is Oyeride Adetutu Modupe Mrs.
I want to thank Governor Fashola for what a great job they are doing. At least for we that we don't even hope that we'll get a house in this year. We are all planning, but now we thank him for at least making this to be possible for us.
After the draw, the governor inspects the ongoing light project at Igomu area of the state.
We've made progress now. I think from mile 2 where we started the last time we went to this place is about 7 kilometers.
Yes, sir.
So that's been constructed. The rail is laid, the track is laid. 4 stations are completed. Now we're now trying to cross the water to the final station in Marina. We're making progress. The contract is in place, financing is in place. So it's now really a question of how much time we can log on a day-to-day basis.
With the light rail project still ongoing and more homes up for grabs for those who intend to own a home, the Lagos State government is assuring citizens that it will continue to provide infrastructures that will make life easier for the people.
First Bank.
Welcome to Business News. I'm Loretta Chiogo. The Securities and Exchange Commission has revealed that it is working towards achieving a 10-year master plan for the capital market. This was a decision made today at its third quarter Capital Market Committee meeting in Lagos. According to the Director General of the SEC, all market operators are expected to recapitalize to the tune of 300 million naira by the end of December 2014.
With engaging a wider group of stakeholders, we have listened, including at the level of the board, to the issues that have been raised by some of the trade groups as to their concerns. We've taken account of those issues. We will expect that every capital market operator will meet the requirements of being in this business and the minimum capital requirements specifically on the 31st of December.
We looked at the vision for the non-interest capital market as a subset of the total Nigerian capital market. And the vision for the next 10 years is to contribute 25% of the overall capital market, and for the non-interest debt markets to comprise 15% of the total Nigerian debt markets.
The Minister of Finance, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, has appealed to accountants in the country to help in contributing to their quota to the national development through integrity. Speaking at the opening of the 44th Annual Conference of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, ICANN, Dr. Iweala also asked the members of the profession to pursue public interest rather than their personal interests in the discharge of their duties.
Accountants from various walks of life at the 44th Annual Conference of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria to discuss how to contribute their quota to national development. Recognizing the role of accountants in any economy, the Minister of Finance asked them to make integrity their watchword.
That we must harness very, very carefully if we are to really develop this country. And we must eschew the type of non-professionalism that has held this country back in so many ways. He talked about the fact that people put individual interests above the interests of the nation sometimes. And I think that with ICANN, we would like you very strongly to be behind the putting of the good of the whole above that of the individual.
This view was also supported by the Minister of Trade and Investment. He also wants their books open for public scrutiny where necessary.
I think as accountants, we need to become major advocates for transparency and accountability in this country. We need to inspire confidence in the financial statements, in the numbers. When things go wrong, when you hear about all these scandals in different entities, whether public or private entities, the first question asked is whether they have accountants.
Officials of the Institute of Chartered Accountants promised to expose errant members who defy professional ethics. They also want timely passage of the nation's budget.
We have disciplinary processes. It's not enough, because I know where you're going is that you hear frauds here and there, and you have chartered accountants in these places. It is not enough for you to hear about fraud. The next level is that the Enabling Act of the Institute made provisions for disciplinary processes. You must write a petition to the Institute. If at the end of the investigation, the member is found culpable, it is now referred to what we call Accountants Tribunal, which has an equivalent status of a high court.
Globally, the role of accountants is vital to nation building. It's expected that decisions reached at the 3-day conference will come up with how accountants can use their expertise for national development.
Flour Mills of Nigeria PLC has posted a revenue of 246 billion naira for the year 2013. Now, this represents an increase of 9% over last year's. At the company's annual general meeting held in Lagos, a dividend of 2 naira 10 kobo for every 50 kobo ordinary share was also announced, being an increase of 5% over the previous years.
After a year of business activities, the management and the shareholders of Flour Mills Nigeria PLC have come together to review the company's performance in the year ended and chart a way forward for the next year.
Flour Mills has grown into one of Nigeria's leading food and agro-allied company with a broad product range, an iconic brand, Golden Penny, an extensive marketing and distribution network. Having midwife, groomed, and directed Flour Mills of Nigeria, a company I passionately love, to a position of greatness, I sincerely believe it is time for me to step aside and, like my father, I allow John, my son, and vice chairman of our company, to assume their responsibility.
To further drive the company towards its commitment to feeding the nation, new members were also injected into the executive board.
I allow John, my son, and vice chairman.
There is a change of baton in leadership. John Kumantaro, son of the outgone chairman, sees his emergence as a huge responsibility.
Further the interests of Flour Mills of Nigeria, to progress Nigeria, and to ensure that I am worthy of the great example and works of my father. That's not to say that my father will not be close by advising and pointing out the directions we need to go, and I count on his great counsel and advice close by.
With the dividend recorded in the year under review, Flour Mills Nigeria PLC is now in the category of companies having uninterrupted record of dividend payment for over 20 years.
And for the stock market report, BC Adebayo now joins us.
Hello and welcome to the Stock Markets Report. The Nigeria equities market ended midweek activities in positive territory as the key broad index appreciated by 0.04% on mixed gains. The all-share index now stands at 40,885.40 with a market capitalization of 13.50 trillion naira. Mobile led 19 other gainers with a 5 naira 50 kobo increase in its share price. Total and Ashaka Cement also added 3 naira 98 kobo and 40 kobo respectively. 24 stocks got the cold shoulder from investors, and top 3 on that list are Forte Oil, GlaxoSmithKline, and NASCON. FTN Cocoa, UB Capital, and Guaranty Trust Bank were the major contributors to market turnover. When stocks crossed the finish line, investors had staked 386.56 million units of shares in over 5,000 deals for a 3.78 billion naira value. And that ends the stock market reports. I am BC Adebayo.
Thank you, BC, and that's it. We'll bring you figures from the global market now.
First Bank.
Still ahead on the news at 10, Nigeria's Super Eagles As host South Africa and defending champions Nigeria draw blank in an entertaining 2015 Africa Cup of Nations qualifier at the